I'm home cooked, you standing trial. Why ain't I see you around back when
One of the dudes that I knew from the porn industry, he kind of knew I was a gangster just because how I carried myself. And he's like, hey man, I got a lick, man. We can go rob this bank out here in Ventura. And dudes, these homies, they've been hitting these banks, man. It's a come up. And I'm like, I'd already been doing a lot of street shit. So I knew about how to pull a lick. So I'm thinking, oh, okay, well, man, I was one of those dudes, like, I would say, F it. So I'm just going to take the chance. I kind of like, I would shut down everything else, all the options, and just go all out. Cause I'm an all out type of dude. So when he said, I said, okay, let's see what, let's plan it out. Put together a little plan. And I'm the type of dude, I'm going to go up in there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I'm not no scary dude. And for whatever reason, I always felt like I had to prove that. So for myself, I'm like, I'm gonna always be one of the dudes who are going to make it, who are going to go at it hard. And the one guy, he was the driver. There was another dude who went into the bank with me.
Hold on, real quick, Herc. Was this your first time? I mean, we passed the statute of limitation. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. First bank robbery. Before that, it was all street shit.
Okay.
So,
go ahead. Dude was driving.
This was a crossover thing, and I should have thought twice, and I knew in my heart of hearts and my gut feeling that I shouldn't have went through with it. Because the crazy thing, Court, was the morning of the bank robbery when I was waiting to get picked up. It was a gloomy day. I was living off of Beverly Glen and Beverly Glen and before you get to Pico, but right over in Wilshire area.
So it's like Beverlywood, like Beverlywood.
Yeah, like Beverlywood, like not too far from Century City.
Yeah.
And my mom called me, and I'm sitting there and I'm dressed in this outfit. I got like my shit on, and she's like, "What are you doing?" I said, "Oh, I'm watching the news." And she's like, "Did you watch the Bachelor last night?" And it's like, dude, it was a sign for me to say no. My mom was trying to talk to me spiritually, like, don't do that. Don't go do with that. But after she hung up, I sat there. I'm like, man, that was weird, man. She never called me this early. Mm-hmm. It was like 7-something in the morning. We getting ready to go hit this bank.
Mm-hmm.
And I went against it anyways, man. And I left the house, man. And that was the last time I seen the streets, man. But we drove up to the bank. And it was one of those drive-through banks that had a circular driveway. And when they drove there, they kind of pulled up. And these dudes, we had a getaway car too. So we had this car, we had another car stashed.
Mm-hmm.
And they kind of sat there. And then probably a couple seconds went by, and I pulled out my ski mask and jumped out the car and ran up in the bank and told everybody get out. Mm-hmm. And then dude, I was assuming was behind me, which he was. He jumped in there and jumped over a counter and started doing his thing. And I'm looking at the clock and I'm thinking in my mind, everything's like slow motion.
Yeah.
People think in the movie is doing the slow motion, but you're looking at the clock and I'm like, damn, man. I'm like, we got to get out of here. We got to go. And he's arguing with the lady. Then he hit somebody upside the head with a pistol. I knew it was all bad. Once I seen that, I'm like, this dude's snapping, man. He's losing it.
Mm-hmm.
I look out the window, and from the corner of my eye, I see the sheriff's out there in raincoats because it was raining.
Mm.
And he had a shotgun. And I see him in my peripheral. And I'm like, dude, it's all bad. It's all bad.
How long was y'all in there for the police to get there? Or they just by chance?
They might have already been in the area, man. It might have been just bad timing. It could have been they were already maybe patrolling, or the lady had hit the thing. Who knows? Because Ventura, they ain't got nothing else to do.
Mm-hmm.
So they were there, and on our way out the bank, we jumped in the car, pulled out. A cop just happened to be behind us. He bumped us. Now I don't know if he knew it was us or what, but when he bumped us, we looked and we gunned it, and we hit a corner and pulled into a parking lot, and dude got out the car and pulled a gun on us. And I'm like, God damn, this shit is over already. Mm-hmm. I'm like, oh man, the dude was sitting there, and the cop's like, get out the car. And he had his door open with his gun drawn, and the dude who was driving, he gunned it around and boom, shot around him, shot up the street into another little area where we had another car stashed. And we jumped in we went from a Ford Escort to a Lincoln Navigator. We jumped in a Lincoln Navigator. Now I had already took off all my robbery clothes and left it in the Escort. But we had the money, and we dropped in the Navigator, and we pulled out. By this time, there was probably 50 cops already in the area.
Damn.
And we pulled out, and there was 3 black guys. They looked at us, we looked at them, and they made eye contact, and boom, it was on. And so we had a high-speed chase on the 101 with helicopters and everything, man, in the rain. And they eventually laid down a spike strip in the carpool lane, and they laid down a spike strip. The Lincoln ran across the spike strip. We were on wheels, basically couldn't go anywhere in the rain. He's like, man, I'm going to stop the car. You guys jump out. So as soon as he stopped the car, I jumped over the center divider, ran across 4 lanes of traffic on the freeway. I don't know how to get hit. I ran up a hill and I tried to find somewhere to hide. I seen a parking garage. I was going to try to go in there and hide. And I ended up getting arrested on the beach. The other 2 dudes got arrested inside the car with the K9. The K9 went in and got their ass.
Wow.
So that was a wrap. I was sitting on the beach. They're like, get on the ground. You know, it's helicopters. And I'm looking at the ocean. And that was the last time I seen the Pacific Ocean.
Wow.
And I get handcuffed. And I had a epiphany at that point, like, dude, this is a wrap, bro. You got to change. This is it.